All right, guys, how you guys doing? I am, of course, Belschnickel. With me today, I've got Rist from the Convert to Raid Guild. He's actually going to do a little coaching for me for the arena on Hearthstone. I'm pretty bad, and Rist is like, dude, let me help you out. Let me teach you some stuff. So, Rist, man, say what's up.
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for taking the time out, man, to get this going with me. Looking forward to it, man. Basically, the way this is going to work out is we're going to go. We have a 30-second delay on Twitch, so I'm going to read the cards off to Rist. He's going to tell me what cards he would have taken at that particular time, and he's going to kind of talk to you guys about why he's making those decisions. Because really, watching one video helps, in terms of learning what's happening, but the decision making is the important thing. So we can get this going when you're ready, Rist. You ready to get this going or what?
Yeah, I'm just loading up the stream right now.
All right, man. Make sure everything's working the way it should.
You streaming on the Schnickel TV one, right?
No, it's on the Converted podcast channel.
Okay. That would definitely help.
Yeah, it helps. Let me just mute this real quick. Let me know when you're ready, man.
All right, I got you
when you
loaded
got the
up
stream.
now.
You got it?
Yep.
All right,
Ready
man.
to go.
Let's do it up, man. Okay, man. We got the Priest, the Warrior, Garrosh, and we have Paladin, Uther. Now, before I pick one, is there one particular class that you're more into than the other? Like, do you always take when you can, or do you kind of just what do you use for your decision making when you're picking your hero?
Yeah, for me, I think the best class still is Mage to pick, but I personally hate playing a Mage because of the way it plays.
Okay.
I don't know. There's just something about it. I'm like bitter. Like whenever they do like 20 damage to you through various spells and stuff, and then Pyroblast through the head, it annoys me. But I mean, my favorite class to play in Arena is Paladin. I think they're really strong.
Okay. Well, I got the Paladin as an option. Should I just go with the Paladin?
That's what I would pick if it was me. I like the Paladin.
Well, let's do it, man. Let's do it up. I want to get, what is it? 12 wins is the most wins you can get.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 12 wins tonight, man.
I can't make any promises for 12, but we'll get you some wins for sure.
All right, man. I'm clicking on the Paladin. All right. The cards we've got, we have 2 mana Wraith. We have at 5 mana Holy Wrath, and at 2 mana we have Equality. The Mana Wraith, all minions cost 1 more. The Holy Wrath, draw a card and deal damage equal to its cost. And Equality is change the health of all minions to 1.
Yeah. I think the simple pick here is going to be... What would you take, Bell?
Okay, I would probably take... I don't like any card that's making my minions cost more. I still haven't really figured out why... Or all minions, I guess it would be theirs as well, but I haven't really used any of those cards in the game. It doesn't really make much sense to me why I'd want stuff to cost more. I'd probably do the Holy Wrath, draw a card and heal and deal damage equal to its cost. Or Equality would be good too, because if you have a board that's full, you can change the health of all minions to 1, but that means yours too. So I probably would do Holy Wrath because I don't know. I don't like the thought of changing the health of my minions to 1. What would you say, man?
Yeah. Here I would definitely go with the Equality because the thing about Mana Wraith I hate. I don't like it at all because I've seen people play it. It can be sort of effective, but it can hose you too.
Okay.
I mean, it's playable. It's not like totally unplayable, but it's definitely below average. Holy Wrath. The problem with Holy Wrath is it's great and all, but you want to have a lot of 2-drops in your deck.
Okay.
And like you play Holy Wrath for 5 and do 2 damage, you're gonna be really sad.
right.
Basically,
that's true because it's that's true. Okay.
It's really RNG-ish. The thing with Equality that's really nice is there's a lot of other Paladin cards that really go well with it. Like you can wipe the board. Like if you get a consecrated quality, you can just wipe out their board. So it's a nice safety valve to have. I mean, I know what you're saying. It's not fun all the time to make your minions have 1 health, but there's a concept in card games where if you have like an equality and you're scared of making your minions have 1 health, it's probably because you're already winning, and then you're not worried about having to play it. So the times you play equality, it's because you're losing and you need a catch up. Equality is a huge catch up card. It can be.
Okay, so you're saying like you might already have board control at that point if you have enough minions that you care that their health will go down to 1?
Yeah, if you're worried about your minions' health going down to 1, it's probably because you're already winning.
Okay.
So having that card in your hand isn't as big a deal.
Okay, cool. I'll go with equality then. All right, next.
I don't think equality is always a slam dunk pick.
No, but based on the other ones.
It's definitely the one that I like best.
Okay, awesome. Next, we've got 4 mana. We got Senjin, Tazdingo. We've got at 6 mana, we have the Frost Elemental, which is a battle cry. It freezes a character. And we have at 7 mana the Core Hound with no abilities. It's a 9/5. So we got Senjin, Frost Elemental, and Core Hound.
Yeah, what do you like here?
I'd probably go Senjin.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I like having some taunt. I like that 3/5 for 4. The Core Hound's nice, like kind of late game. 7 mana. I mean, the Frost Elemental's nice too. If you're looking at something that's going to really do some damage to your face, it just comes out and freezes it. Gives you an extra chance to deal with it. But I probably would have gone with Senjin.
Yeah, I like Senjin best here too. The thing about Core Hound is I don't like that card like hardly at all because you're paying 7 mana, has 5 health. By the time the game's that late, they have so many ways they can do 5 health that get rid of that 5 health at the 9 power almost doesn't matter. So I really am not a big fan of the Core Hound. The Frost Elemental is also quite good. It's a nice tempo card because it freezes their card and gets it on the board. So I like the Frost Elemental, but I like Tazdingo even more. I mean, it's awesome that it has taunt. It's probably one of the best taunters in the game, and it's just a really solid card at 3/5 for 4.
Now, you were talking about tempo. The other day we were talking in GroupMe, and you were talking to some people about tempo. Can you kind of explain that real quick for anybody who's not exactly sure what you mean?
Basically what I was saying, and what you have to focus on is there's 2 basic strategies to these games. And the 2 main rules I follow are tempo and card advantage. So card advantage is a little easier to explain. It's like basically they had to use 2 cards to get rid of your 1 or even more, then you're winning that way because if you have more cards in your hand than them, they're in trouble usually. And then the other main thing that you have to focus on is tempo, because what tempo is like, say you have a bunch of cards that get you card advantage, but they all cost a ton. You're going to be so far behind by the time you start playing them. That's tempo, like, because they're going to have, they play like a 2, 3, 4 drop all in unison. They're all those order. You'll be so far behind you won't ever be able to catch up no matter how much card advantage you have. So they'll just burn your face while you're trying to gain card advantage, and they'll just lose.
Okay. So they're always playing something, is what you mean, like?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the speed of what they get stuff out. So you want a nice curve, which is what we're looking at down at the bottom there, your mana curve, so that you don't lose in tempo, even if you're going for card advantage.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, I'm going to take Senjin then.
Yep.
All right, next we've got 1 mana Lepronome. Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. We have a 1 mana Redemption, which is a secret. When one of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. And we've got the Argent Protector at 2 mana. Its battle cry is give a friendly minion Divine Shield. I probably would go with the Lepronome. I kind of like that card, but that Divine Shield's pretty strong too. So I would probably be going between, because that's secret. When one of your minions dies, it's random, right? That's just random. Like, is the next minion that dies after you have the secret up?
The next minion that dies after you put it down.
I probably would go with Lepronome if it was me. What do you say?
Lepronome's okay. In Arena, I don't love it. Argent Protector's pretty much huge for Paladin. The card's really, really good.
Now, one of the things I was hearing about, I was listening to some podcast about the game, and they were talking about like kind of avoiding 1 drops, like 1 mana drops in Arena. Is that, do you agree with that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I pretty much only take there's not very many one drops that I would actually go out of my way to take. I take them like I would take a leopard gnome over two other junk cards because
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, but it's not something that I definitely go out of my way to get because it's just not a big deal. The problem with a 2/1 is three of the classes have an innate ability just to kill it, like
Right, just
rogue,
ping it off.
druid, and mage. Just kill it, and then you're already down a card. Even though
You
you
get
did
2
damage,
damage.
which is
Yeah.
nice, you're down a card. Which in arena, most of the time, that you can build an aggressive deck in arena, but I think that overall that you can get more trouble on your long-term average wins if you're trying to build aggressive decks. Because if it doesn't work out,
You're screwed.
then yeah.
Okay.
So I draft for value, and that's what keeps me. Like, I have something like a 70% win rate in arenas, which is really high. Until I collected all my cards, but I've always drafted for value over tempo. So
Okay. And when you're looking at these cards, like, are you kind of taking a glance at the bottom at the curve and like making decisions based on what you have mana curve wise, or are you just like trying to get the best card of the three every time?
definitely looking at the curve, but I don't start looking at the curve until uh, about at least 10 in. Like the first 10, I'm definitely just picking the strongest card out of the three. There's
Okay.
almost no question. There's some things like with Paladin, for instance, that you want to know. Like Paladin has really good 4 drops, so that does come into consideration even when I'm picking my first 10 cards. Like if there's 2 really good cards I really like, I might go with another thing that's not a 4 drop, just because Paladins have such strong 4 drops.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the thing about I've seen people do some neat things with redemption, but it's not very consistent. So I don't like taking it, and like I don't like Leopard Gnome because it gets pinged and then you're down a
Okay.
card and you didn't do much. Argent Protector is awesome because I mean that card. When I talk about value, you can 2-for-1 with that card. Pretty easy. It's almost always a 2-for-1 actually. You pretty much don't play it
Because you're giving someone shield, so
because you're giving someone a
yeah.
shield and then you smash into something and you have the Argent Protector on the board now and you kept your guy that you just shielded. It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
So definitely Argent Protector.
All right, I'm going with that one.
I like to get as many of those as I can pretty much.
So if that's one of those cards, are there any cards? Well, I guess it depends on what you get, but are there any cards that you I guess we could talk about at the end, but that you always take? You know, when you see them, or almost always anyway. I guess it depends on what else is out there, but all right, we can talk about that at the end. The next group of cards we have is 3 mana. We have Thrallmar Farseer. It's got Wind Fury. He's a 2/3. We've got the Bloodfen Raptor, 2 mana cost, 3 attack, 2 health, and we have the Shield Bearer. It's a 0/4 with taunt. It's a 1 mana. I would probably go with, man, I like me some Wind Fury. I probably would go with Thrallmar here.
Okay, I would definitely take the Bloodfen Raptor here.
Okay.
Bloodfen Raptor is not. It's average. It's like the base average card that you can get. The other 2 are below average to me.
Okay.
Thrallmar Farseer, it's kind of a trap that has Wind Fury because it's still a 2/3 for 3, which is below average. And the only time that the Wind Fury like is really good is the 3 health isn't going to let you trade with 2 minions most of the time. Like
That's
they have
true,
to
because you're gonna hit them once and you're gonna die anyway. You're not gonna get that
like
second
he's going
hit.
to trade with like loot hoarders and stuff. Maybe best case scenario is like the dream for that situation. But like yeah, the only time it's really important that it has Wind Fury is if you're going to the face, and really in arenas you're playing for board control. So it's turns out to be so often a 2/3 for 3, which is really below average, that I don't like that card very much.
Okay.
And the Shield Bearer is awful because I mean it saves you a little bit of health, but there's no way for it to gain you any advantage in the game. You're just giving
You're
up
just stalling. Yeah.
man. Like it's just here, have a card. It's like discard a card to prevent 4 health. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's one of the worst cards.
Okay, I'm going with Bloodfen.
Yeah. It's
All right.
important. It's
Go ahead.
very important to get good 2-drops, like 3/2 2-drops in arena. So that's why Bloodfen's fine, but it's just average.
Okay. I got another Argent Protector up. I have Blessing of Wisdom, which choose a minion whenever it attacks, draw a card. And I have Blessing of Might, give it a minion 3+ attack. Based on what we talked about earlier, I probably would go with Argent Protector again, for the same reasons as before. That Blessing of Wisdom is kind of cool because you can get some card draw. off it, which is always good. But then once you lose that minion, you're pretty much done. I probably would go with the Argent Protector again at the 2.
Yeah, that's my favorite pick here too. You're right about Blessing of Wisdom, and the other thing about Blessing of Wisdom that I don't know if everyone knows this, but you can Blessing of Wisdom their thing too. So if there's something you can't deal with right away that's pretty big out there,
okay.
you can at least Blessing of Wisdom it, and then they have to make the decision whether they want to attack and give you a card or they just want to hold off on it.
And as long as that thing is still alive, it's continuing to give you cards every time it attacks.
Yeah, so sometimes you can stall out something big with it. So it's an okay card. And Blessing of Might I really don't like. I don't like very many buff cards, especially ones that don't buff health, because you're just really trying to give card advantage to the other player with that card, because you're putting 2 cards into one creature.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's your 1/1 guy, you're putting 2 cards into one creature, so if they kill it, they just 2 for 1.
2 for 1, okay. All right, I'm going with the Protector again.
Yep.
All right, next we've got another Blessing of Wisdom, the Raid Leader, and Scarlet Crusader. Here, looking at these, the Raid Leader's out for me. Nobody ever seems to like that card.
Yeah.
The Divine Shield is nice. It's a 3/1. That's not bad because you get 2. You're going to get two attacks for that. And the Blessing of Wisdom was what we talked about before. I probably would take here, if I was doing this arena by myself, I'd probably go with the Blessing of Wisdom this time. But the Scarlet Crusader would also be good. Which one do you think?
The Scarlet Crusader, because it's a good 3-drop, and that that is just good on its own, because 3-drops can be kind of a weakness of a deck.
Of any deck, or just or the Paladin deck in particular?
Any deck.
Okay.
Almost. Yeah. There's for neutral minions, there's some pretty awful 3-drops out there. So when you see a good 3-drop, which I think Scarlet Crusader is, I like to take it. I hate Raid Leader. It's a 2/2 for 3. Even though it gives the minions +1 attack, it doesn't do enough that I like it very much. And although I will say that it does, if it is going to shine at all, it shines best in Paladin and Shaman because of the totems and the 1/1s. But
the 1/1s you get, yeah. I'm
still not a big fan of it. I've played with it before, but I hate playing with it. The other 2 cards have to be pretty terrible.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess Scarlet Crusader here. I just like having the dude.
I'm taking her. Next we've got the Ironforge Rifleman, Battlecry, deal 1 damage, 3 mana, 2/2. We've got the Boulderfist Org, which is 6 mana, 6/7, and we have the River Crocolisk, which is a 2 mana, 2/3. Looking here, I'm not really a super fan of any of these cards. I'm not sure if I should be or not, but I'd probably go with the Ironforge Rifleman if I was here. Deal a 1 damage. Yeah.
So, Boulderfist Ogre is a really good card, actually.
Is that one you take if there's nothing else that's really better? Is that one you're taking on a regular basis or what?
I don't. It depends a lot. It's an expensive card, but it's really good.
Well, it's 6/6.
I can see how it's
for 7.
I can see how it's not exciting for a lot of players whenever they just look at it, because it's just a big dude. But it's a 6/7 for 6, which the basic curve that you're basing your cards off of is like a 6/6 for 6 is the base.
So you want your mana and your attack to be either you want your mana to be your attacking. I'm sorry, you want your attack and your health to be a little bit better than your mana. Is what you're looking for.
If it's a little bit better than your mana, then it's a little above average. Because I would say that a 6/6 for 6 would be an average card.
Okay.
So the fact that this has the extra health puts it above average.
Okay.
So I like it. River Crosk is fine to take if you have to, because it's a 2-drop, but I'm not a big fan of the 2/3s for 2, because if they play a 2/3 for 2, you get in a weird situation.
Okay.
I really prefer 3/2s for 2, but if you have to take it, it's okay. Ironforge Rifleman's okay too. It's below average, but I don't hate taking them. But with the Boulderfish Ogre being above average, it's pretty much the base pick here.
All right, I'm taking it. Next, we've got at 3 mana we have the Magma Rager. It's a 5/1. We have another Senjin, And we have Hand of Protection. Give a minion Divine Shield. I'm not taking another Senjin. I don't know that I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on having a lot of taunt, but I've kind of been drifting away from taunts on the decks that I've been messing around with. I'd probably go with the Hand of Protection. Give a minion Divine Shield. Give a minion 2 shots.
I'd still take the Senjin here just because Hand of Protection is okay because you can 1-for-1 your opponent, but it can also be really bad, like if you're a little behind and if you don't have a creature already on the board. So it's a little too situational.
Mm-hmm.
And Magma Rager is awful. That card is so bad because, like, if you're playing a mage, it's completely worthless.
Right, they're gonna ping it and kill it in one shot. Done. Yeah.
Like, it's terrible. It's so bad. And Senjin Shieldmaster, like, what you're saying about taunts is not wrong, except that Senjin Shieldmaster is one of the best taunts.
So if you can get that
nice
taunt,
3/5 4, like that card is fine. It usually cards lose on power and toughness, for being a taunt, and that card doesn't. Like it.
Even if it wasn't a taunt, it'd still be a card that you probably wouldn't mind having.
It adds up to your 8, like it adds up to the 4/4 for 4 that I was saying that's average, and then you get taunt on top of it. So it's a 3/5 for 5, but for 4, but 5 health is really good to have on turn 4.
Okay.
So I really like that card in general. It's a pretty good card. It's always solid.
All right, I'm taking Senjin. Next, we've got at 1 we have the Grimscale Oracle. All other Morlocks have +1 attack. We have the Stormwind Champion. Your other minions have +1/+1/+1, and we have the Razorfen Hunter, which on the battlecry it summons a 1/1 boar. I would probably take the Stormwind Champion. But because I'm thinking at that point of the game when I have 7 mana, hopefully I've got other stuff on the board. That 1/1 buff would be kind of nice. I'm not taking the 1. I don't have any other Murlocs, so that's not really appealing to me at all. And the Hunter, it's not bad. I guess you get a 1/1 out of it for 3 mana, so you get two cards for that. So it'd be between those two. I probably would go with the Stormwind Champion if it was me.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely is a slam dunk pick between Stormwind Champion and Razorfen Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stormwind Champion's really good with Paladin because then your dudes become 2/2s, the ones you summon with your hero power.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. So I really like Stormwind with Shaman I like it with Shaman too, but with Paladin in particular. I think that if I wasn't playing Paladin, I'd lean more towards Razorfen Hunter because that card's not one of my favorites either, but it's decent. When you think about the power and toughness, you're getting a 3/4 for 3 whenever you add them together.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I don't hate taking it. I think it's a decent card. And I would never take Murlocs in a draft because how do you know you're ever going to get any?
Right, you might not get another one in the rest of the thing.
That thing could be a 1/1. That thing probably is going to be a 1/1 for 1, which I don't want at all.
Okay.
So I like Stormwind.
All right, I'm taking Stormwind Champion. All right, next we've got some epics. We've got Avenging Wrath, which is deal 8 damage randomly split among enemy characters. We've got the South Sea Captain, 3 mana. Your other pirates have +1/+1. And we have Lay on Hands. Restore 8 health, draw 3 cards. I'm liking that draw 3 cards and 8 health at 8 mana. I'm going... But that Avenging Wrath is kind of nice too, man. You're doing 8 damage. That could be a lot of damage, a lot of clear with that if it spreads out right, I'm going to go with the Lay on Hands because I'm just thinking towards the end of the game, sometimes you get stuck where you're like top decking it, and getting those 3 cards could be the difference between winning and losing and getting that extra health back. I probably would go with Lay on Hands here.
I like Avenging Wrath a little better than Lay on Hands.
Okay.
Lay on Hands... It's crazy you got to pick between both those two because they're both really good Paladin cards. Like South Sea Captain is crying in between those two because there's no way he's ever going to get picked whenever those other 2 cards are out there. But I've taken South Sea Captains before without pirates because some epics are so bad that just having a 3/3 for 3 isn't the worst thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to take that card before. I don't like it at all, but I have had to do it. No, I really like the Avenging Wrath a little better because I like to be more on the aggressive side than the passive side. I think Lay on Hands is a passive card, but it is really good. The problem you could run into is if you don't already have stuff on the board and they're beating you,
Mm-hmm.
like the health seems like a good idea, but you just spent your whole turn drawing cards and letting them spend a turn even
Yeah,
progress the
punching your
board
face.
further,
Okay.
and they can hit you in the face. But if the board's kind of equal, it probably will win you the game if you're kind of equal on the board. But Avenging Wrath, I like better because you can be losing and then make a huge comeback with it. And I want to point out you have an equality already. So equality Avenging Wrath is really amazing together if that ever comes up. So you can
Oh,
give
that's
all their
true.
dudes
Yeah.
one health
Yeah,
and then
drop
throw
everything
it
to
at it.
one.
You'll clear their board and do damage to their face in one go.
Okay.
It could be really amazing.
Now, when you're drafting these decks, are you constantly kind of looking
So yeah,
back
I
at
would
your
go
deck?
Avenging Wrath.
Are you looking back to see kind of what you have and trying to work on like synergy of your cards while you're doing this? Are you like constantly looking back to see what you have, or you kind of just like what I'm trying to say is how much are you looking at your deck when you're making this? Like when you're making your deck, are you going back often to see what you got? Oh, looks like I got DC'd from Battle.net during Arena.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, I just got disconnected.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that sucks.
It's fine. In the middle of a draft, it'll just take you back into the draft.
Okay. I never had that happen before.
I figured it was just Skype acting up.
No, I think we're good. Stream's still good.
Yeah, no, it's no big deal. You can stop in the middle of a draft anytime. Like, even not finishing the draft and come back to it.
Yeah, I've never had that happen once
So,
since I've been playing this game.
so while you're logging on, let's talk about this. We just got to our 10th card right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now's whenever I was talking about. I do more start to look at mana curve as I make my picks now. Like, and one of the things already that I'm noticing is we took some really good high cost cards, but we don't want to get slammed down with too many cards that cost a lot.
Okay, yeah, you don't want your curb. Okay, yeah, totally.
So
All right.
we do want to be careful with that as we move on. So
Okay.
yeah, we wanted to go with the Avenging Wrath here.
Okay, I took that one. Now we got the South Sea Deckhand at 1. It has charge while you have a weapon equipped. We have the 1/1/1 Stone Tusk Boar, and we have the Blessing of Wisdom. Those other cards seem kind of sucky to me. I'm probably gonna go with Blessing of Wisdom.
Man, if we had just taken that South Sea Captain last pick, we could have the dream with that South Sea Deckhand being a 3/2 charger.
The pirate, yeah.
No, that's not a good idea. South Sea Deckhand is like it could be playable in Paladins because they do have weapons. It's total trash in classes that don't have any weapons, but it's not very good. And Stone Tusk Boar is pretty bad. I mean, I guess if you're a hunter, maybe you would consider that if you're going all beasts. But other than that, I don't like that card at all. And like I was saying before, Blessing of Wisdom isn't my favorite thing in the world, but here's definitely a case where you're taking the Blessing of Wisdom because it is playable over the other two. So yeah, you gotta take the Wisdom here.
Hold on one second there, Riz. I think some people were saying they couldn't hear you. So I'm just checking. I'm just checking to see because I can hear you fine. I can hear you good. Let me check the stream here. Talk again a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's picking it up.
Can everybody hear me now?
Let's take a quick break in the action and make sure. One delay, so. She said
you can hear me all right, right?
I hear you fine. Yeah, you sound the same to me. It hasn't changed at all.
Okay.
Looks like some people in the stream were turning up their volume to be able to hear you. But I think we're good. If you guys in the chat room can't hear him, let me know. And we'll see if we can fix that. But sounds good on my end.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Blessing of Wisdom with that. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's what I picked. Blessing of Wisdom.
Okay, next we've got... Yeah, they're saying that you got quieter. Let me see. Maybe
I don't know
it's...
if it's anything on my end. I don't know. Maybe you have to recall me on Skype or something. I don't know. If you can hear me all right, I don't...
Let me see here. Say something?
All right.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, all the levels are coming in good. I see the movement going on too. If you guys keep having problems in the chat room, let me know. I'll recall them and see if that fixes it. Um, but Skype didn't go down at all. It was just the BattleNet. Um, all right, next we've got the Oasis Snapjaw, which is a 4 mana 2/7. We've got another Boulder Fist Org at 6/7, and we have a Priestess of Elune, which her battle cry is restore 4 health to your hero. Um, Looking at the curve, like we talked about, I mean, you said that the Paladin has a lot of good 4 drops already. That Snapjaw,
which we haven't seen yet, but hopefully we will.
that Snapjaw's kind of hardy with that 7 health, but I'd probably for the 2 extra mana, I'd probably take the 4 extra damage and go without the Boulder Fist.
Yeah, exactly. You pretty much said even the thought process there. Like, Oasis Snapjaw isn't a bad card because it's so beefy with the health that you can just keep doing 2 damage a couple times and stuff, which can be pretty good. But even though I don't like having a ton of high drops if I can help it, like I'm not going to take a crappy card over a good card, especially not yet. Whenever, whenever it's like this, I think Priestess of Lune is borderline unplayable because it's a 5/4 for 6. It's not a big deal to add 4 health. I mean, to restore 4 health to you. Restoring health to minions is much more valuable
than to yourself. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would go Boulder Fist Ogre here. Pretty much. That's pretty much an easy pick for me on this one.
Okay. Next, we've got another Argent Protector, which would give us 3 if we took him. We have Earthen Ring Farseer, which is battle cry, restore 3 health. It's a 3/3/3, and we have Booty Bay Bodyguard with he's a 5/5/4 with taunt. Well, you just talked about not really caring about restoring health. Is that 3 health to anything or to?
That I just was saying, like restoring health to minions is better, and that's restore 3 health. You can pick whatever you want to restore it to.
I'd probably go with that one then. It's a 3/3/3. I mean, I already have 2 Argent Protectors. I've only taken, I think I only have 1 3-drop, so I'd probably go with that. That's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like your thought process there. Basically, this is a case where between those 3 cards, I like Argent Protector the best of the 3 cards. Just if I was looking at 3 cards, but this is where I was talking about. We have 1 decent 3-drop so far, so I would get a little nervous taking a 3rd Argent Protector and having no 3-drops down the road. So, Earthen Ring Farseer is also a very good card, and Argent Protector is better, but Earthen Ring Farseer is good.
Okay.
So because of the curve, I would take the Earthen Ring in our case here now. Booty Bay Bodyguard is, I don't like that card very much because it only has 4 health for a 5-cost minion, which even though it has taunt, it's going to just trade with something straight up at best, and it might even get without trading. So
all right,
it's not one of my favorites, but the Earthen Ring Farseer would be my pick here, just because of the mana curve, and we already have 2 Argent Protectors.
Okay.
But like I said, Argent Protector I think is better than Earthen Ring Farseer by a little bit.
If I didn't have any before, that's the card you would have gone with. Okay.
Just not enough that I like the Earthen Ring in this case better.
Okay. Next we've got the Novus Engineer. We just recently got nerfed. It's a 1/1 for 2 mana. We have Blessing of Might, another Blessing of Might, which is give a minion 3+ attack, and we have the Acidic Swamp Ooze, which is a 2/3/2, destroys your opponent's weapon. I like that card at 2/3/2. Kind of based on just looking at the value of the card, looks like you're ahead even without the battle cry. And if they have a weapon, that's kind of nice too. So I'd probably go with that one. Don't really like the Novus Engineer as much anymore since you lost a little bit of that health. So I'd go with the Acidic Swamp Ooze if it was me.
Yeah. This brings up a good point with the Novice Engineer getting nerfed. I've heard people like totally dismiss it now, and I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
Like, it was much better as a 1/2 because it couldn't be pinged. That's awesome, and it put something on the board that at least your opponent had to do something about and cycled the card. But even as a 1/1 for 2, it's still putting something on the board that they have to spend the mana at least to ping it, which comes into play with the tempo I was talking about before. And you don't lose card advantage when they ping it because you just drew your card. And there's a thing in card games that what it does basically is cycle through your deck, and that's always a good thing, especially in a limited format like this draft is. Cycle through your deck because basically what you're saying is you're not going to get all awesome cards, so the faster you can get to your good cards, the better. But that being said, a 6 Wampoos is pretty awesome in arenas because if they have a weapon, you can just devastate your opponent with it, and it's always going to be a 3/2 for 2,
right?
Which is fine. So I would take the acidic here, but I don't think novice became like unplayable or anything.
So, but with the novice engineer, like since you're getting one card, you're cycling through, wouldn't you be just better off just getting a better card? You know what I mean? Like if you're doing constructed, no, like in constructed play, like wouldn't you be better off just kind of subbing that for just a better card than putting the novice engineer in there?
Constructed?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Like if you're playing a really controlling deck, like it's not bad to cycle to the cards that you really want.
Okay.
Depending on what you're trying to do. I mean, the thing about I've heard people say that you automatically play Loot Hoarder over it, and that isn't necessarily true. In an aggro deck, now you play Loot Hoarder for sure over Novice Engineer, but in a control deck, there's a really big value to drawing the card right now as opposed to having to wait till it dies to draw the card, because if you draw that Novice Engineer on turn 8 and you draw a Loot Hoarder on turn 8, you might just lose because you gotta throw down that Loot Hoarder and wait to draw another card. But if you draw a Novice Engineer on turn 8 and you don't have any more cards,
it gives you, yeah.
Card, it might give you like a really good play.
Okay.
So that's why Novice Engineer is still a playable card. It all depends. I mean, but yeah, like when I'm looking at it in this draft, I'm saying like, would I rather draw one of the cards that's already in my deck with the Novice Engineer, or would I rather just have one of these cards that's out here? And in this case, I'd rather just have a 6 one.
Okay, I'm taking that one. It makes sense though. I like the rationale. All right, next we've got a Blessing of Might, which we've had already a couple times come up. We've got the Thrallmar Farseer, which has got the it's a 3 mana for 2/3 Wind Fury, and we have the True Silver Champion, which is a 4/4/2. I'm probably going True Silver Champion. I think that's our first weapon too.
Yeah, when we talked about the really good 4-drops that Paladin has.
That's one of them, right?
When we talked about cards that I slam dunk into my draft, basically. I rate my Paladin decks based on how many Consecrates and True Silver Champions I have. So those 2 cards are so good. Yeah, True Silver Champion, I pretty much...
When that pops up, you're grabbing it.
I think I would take 5 of them if I had them, because they're that amazing. They're just so good. Because it's automatically, like, you're going to kill most stuff with the 4 toughness. So much stuff has less than that. So you're going to kill 2 things with it. So it's just putting on the board like almost always 2-for-1s for you. That
brings up a question that I've had too. Like, how do you decide when you have like a weapon? Because I've been messing around with the warrior deck a little bit. And how do you decide when you have a weapon if you're gonna take out the minions and take the damage or go for their face? Like, what's the criteria you're thinking about when you're doing that? You know, when you're like,
I would almost never go for their face unless I'm like close to killing them and it's gonna put me over the edge to kill them. I wouldn't just sit there and go for their face. Like, I would hold the weapon and wait until they play another minion and try to kill a minion with it.
Okay.
Because getting card advantage that way. Yeah, I mean, in Construct it can be different because there's some warrior decks that are out there that are pretty aggressive and they go into the face with the weapon. It's totally different in that case. But I mean, especially in arenas, you're using those weapons to clear minions away. Unless you're getting close to the kill. That's fine. But I mean, for most of the game, you're just using it to clear minions.
Okay. Next, we've got Repentance Secret. When your opponent plays a minion, it reduces health to 1. We've got the 3 mana Magma Rager, 5/1, which we talked about before. Was kind of a horrible card. And we've got the Voodoo Doctor, which is a battle cry, restore 2 health, 2/1. I'd probably, man, this is kind of a bunch of fugly. I'd probably go with the Repentance, I think, and just kind of hope to wait towards later in the game when I could kind of play it when I was expecting something big to come out, I guess. I mean, I don't know. These cards, I don't know. They're kind of crappy. I'd probably go with Repentance, though.
Yeah, this can happen in arenas where you get... This does happen in arenas a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get this, where you get like 3 cards and you're like, I don't want any of this trash. Get it away from me. But you got to pick something.
Okay.
But,
What do you think about Repentance? Is that the one you take over the other ones?
I think I would take the Voodoo Doctor because it isn't just 2 health to yourself. You can restore 2 health to a minion, which is probably what we'd end up doing with it. So what can happen here is, you trade with like your 3/3, and then with something that does 2 damage to it, and then we restore it back to a 3/3 again, so it can maybe trade again, or like a really good case to use it is we have this 2 Senjins, so we can heal those back up if they get damaged, and maybe kill something else. So maybe we can get some extra value out of the Voodoo Doctor. Whereas I know we're not getting any value out of the Rager, and we're probably not getting any value out of the Repentance. Because even though we dropped it to 1, so you might be able to kill it, you're probably just gonna lose board. You're probably just gonna lose card advantage because you dropped it to 1, but it's still there, so you still gotta handle.
Right, you still gotta do something to it, and you don't have a hero ability that can take care of it like a mage. So, you still there, man? Did we lose your wrist? I got disconnected from Battle.net again. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me go check on something.
Disconnected again, huh?
Yeah, did you get disconnected?
Just from you.
All right, let me go check on something. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Okay.
The game is I'll be right back, guys. 2 seconds. Oh, it happened to you too? I'll be right back. You there, Wrist?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's going down.
Yeah, Zap in the channel said that he got disconnected from Hearthstone at the same time, but it's weird that Skype disconnects too.
Maybe Hearthstone's having some problems? I don't know.
Yeah, but why would that disconnect Skype?
The first time I didn't lose you on Skype.
Yeah, we did.
I did?
Yeah.
Now it's not even letting me in the game.
Yeah, wonderful.
Are you in game? Are you in Hearthstone?
No, I wasn't in game.
She said it's because you're a Dolphins fan. Let me just shut down Battle.net real quick.
I'm trying to log in now, see if I can. Yeah, I'm in Hearthstone right now.
She said burn the jersey and it'll work.
Seriously, why is there Dolphins hate? I mean,
I don't know. How can you hate the Dolphins? We're a horrible football team. Spencer said it's all of Battle.net. Well, at least it's not just me.
Huh. I'm in Hearthstone right now. At least I can log in now.
All right, I'm back in. Should be appearing back on the stream here pretty soon.
Yep.
So we kind of agreed that the Voodoo Doctor was the one to go with.
Yeah, the Voodoo Doctor here because it's the only one that's possible to get value out of these cards. There's no way we're getting value out of Repentance or Magma Ranger because even though if you knock it down to 1 life, you're still gonna have to deal with it on the board. So.
Okay.
A very good value play, and plus, you never know what they're gonna play. So what if they play a Novice Engineer?
Okay, we got the Murdoch Tide Caller. It's a 1/2. Whenever a Murloc is summoned, gain +1 attack. We don't have any Murlocs yet. The Violet Teacher, which is a 4 mana card. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice. And then we have the Ancient Watcher that can't attack. It's a 2 mana, but it's a 4/5. What? Yeah, I don't really understand that card yet. Like, what's the deal? I've seen it. I've had it played against me, and I think I had someone throw taunt on it, so I had to kind of bash my face against it. But what's the deal with that Ancient Watcher?
Yeah, that's what you just said is one of the really big things. It actually has seen its share of constructed play because with all the aggro decks and stuff, you can chuck that down for 2 and then either play like a Sun Fury Protector or Defender of Argus and give that thing taunt. It's pretty tough to go through with an aggro deck. It can be a nightmare. And the other thing you can do is silence it and then it can attack.
Oh, so you silence your own and then go with it.
Yeah, you can silence your own. Like you can play an owl or something and attack with it. It's tough to do in an arena, so I'm not big on it for an arena pick. And Murloc Tidecaller, like I said, we don't want to be taking Murlocs.
So you think that Violet Teacher?
Yeah, Violet Teacher I think is pretty good. It's a beefy guy. It's like your Senjin, and then if you start playing spells with it out, it just starts chucking 1/1s out there, which
that's always
fine.
Good.
It's not bad to have free 1/1s.
So are you avoiding the Ancient Watcher most of the time in arena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I don't think I've ever taken one in an arena.
Okay.
It's too risky to try to like have silences and taunts. Like maybe if I had a whole bunch of silences by accident somehow, like a ton of them, I might consider it. But there's never been that situation yet, so
okay.
I've never taken one.
I've got the next group up. We've got a 6 mana Lord of the Arena, 6/5 with taunt. We've got a Blessing of Kings, which is the give a minion 4/4/4, and then we have another True Silver Champion. Just based on the advice you gave me, that if I hadn't talked to you before, I'd probably maybe still take the True Silver Champion, but that Blessing of Kings is kind of nice too. That 4/4 is nice.
Blessing of Kings is one of the other 4-drops that is pretty good with Paladin. It's like I don't like buff cards most of the time, but Kings is one of the ones that I will definitely deal with because, I mean, even in a worst case scenario with the Paladin, at least you're putting your 1/1 out and making it into a 5/5 that they gotta handle. So that can be really beefy.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do really like it. But like I said, True Silver Champion's almost a slam dunk for me every time, and this is still the case here. And Lord of the Arena is okay. Not a huge fan of it. I think it's slightly below average, but I'm not too upset if I have to take one. But
okay,
like especially with us having the Boulder Fists and everything, there's no way I'd take one in this deck when there's something better. I wouldn't even consider it.
Right, we got 2 of them.
It's not even like I'm slam dunking that True Silver.
Okay. We've got another Blessing of Kings, which is cool. We've got the Wisp, which I don't understand. Like, I mean, it's free, but whatever. And we have Blessing of Wisdom, which is the one we talked about earlier. When it chooses a minion and whenever it attacks, draw a card. I'd probably go with Blessing of Kings here. So we got Blessing of Kings, the Wisp, and Blessing of Wisdom.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying about look at what's happening to our card with the 4-drops. That's okay because it happens with Paladins. It's not something to be super alarmed of. Like I was saying, this was going to happen before we started. But yeah, I mean the Wisp is pretty much junk. It's a 1/1 for 0, but there's not a ton of value in that. It's still you wasting a card in your deck.
Right.
To do it. Blessing of Wisdom is okay, like we talked about before, but I especially don't have more than one Blessing of Wisdom if I can avoid it.
Okay.
That's a card that I'm okay with one, but when I start to get more of them, then I get a little concerned. So Blessing of Kings, yeah. I mean, even though it's a buff card, which I'm not, like I was saying, I'm not huge on a lot of the buff cards. Like you're making a guy, like with your 1/1, you're making a 5/5.
Right. So then you just buff them, and yeah.
It's a little different than just a buff card. It's a pretty good costed buff card. So yeah, I'm taking Blessing of Kings here.
Okay.
I like that card. It's pretty good.
All right, we have at 5-drop the Azure Drake, spell damage +1, battle cry, draw a card. We've got Equality, another Equality, change the health of all minions to 1, and we have a Cold Light Oracle. Each player draws 2 cards, 3 mana. I'd probably go with the Azure Drake here, but if I was just doing this on my own, going willy nilly. But what do you say, man? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. Azure Drake is one of my favorite cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like Equality's a good card, like I was saying before, but we have one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like that draw card and that spell damage
yet, which should be pointed out. Like it's really good with Equality. We do have Avenging Wrath, but man, Azure Drake. The thing about Azure Drake is you're putting a 4/4 out there for free. In other words, like when I say free, you're replacing it with a card in your hand. So now, whenever they kill that Azure Drake, whatever they used to kill it with, it doesn't matter to you because you didn't even.
You got a card from it.
It's so amazing, and then the spell damage on top of it's just like a little extra boost that I don't even feel like the card needs. If it was a 4/4 for 5, I drew a card, I would take it. I don't even need the spell damage, but yeah, it's really good, really good.
All right, I'm taking it.
Top rares, I feel like
So you're taking that most times when you see it. If it pops up, you're probably taking it. Okay.
Yeah, like either of the 2 Drakes. So in other words, that one and the one that Twilight Drake that gets bigger health, depending on how many cards you have, are both awesome. And
bro, we got another True Silver champion, man. We got a True Silver champion, a Mighty Berserker, and another Stormwind champion. The Stormwind champion's out. The Berserker seems like a pretty good card, but I mean, based on what you're telling me, man, the True Silver, there's no way I'm taking anything but that with these cards that are up there.
Yeah, now we're getting in like a little bit of danger with the 4 drops, but not enough that I'm not going to take the True Silver.
Hey man, you said you'd take 5 of those True Silver champions, man. We're about to find out.
I've had, I believe, 4, and I think that deck went 9-0 before 12 was in, when 9 was the highest.
Okay.
4 True Silvers, but yeah, I think Mighty Berserker I don't like in most decks unless you're like a mage and you can ping it yourself.
Right, because someone's going to kill it.
And it's okay in a warrior maybe, depending on like you're taking like Cruel Taskmasters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it can be decent in warrior, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of it for Paladin. Yeah, True Silver.
All right, man. We got Ascension, another Ascension. We've got the Hammer of Wrath, deal 3 damage, and draw a card. And Gurubashi Berserker, the 5-drop. Whenever a minion takes damage, gain 3 attack. I like that card usually. I have a couple of those that I run with in some of the decks that I do. That's another 4-drop, man, but it's got a card draw on it, and you're dealing the 3 damage. If it was just me by myself, man, it's not going to be Senjin. We got 2 of them. I'm probably going to go with the Hammer of Wrath. Even though we only have one 5 card.
Yeah, the 5-drop isn't super critical. Like Hammer of Wrath is so good that I almost like playing it on 5, but more than playing a Gurubashi Berserker on 5, because that card's going to kill something and get you a card. Like, I would love to, if there was a 3-drop available here, and it was decent, I would probably take it, because we really want some 3 drops, and probably a couple more 2 drops wouldn't even hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Those I'm more worried about than the 5 drops. But yeah, man, like Hammer of Wrath is just really good. So, because it's 3 damage and draws you a card, like what I say about value.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a free 3 damage card and replaces itself. It's really good value.
I'm taking the Hammer of Wrath then.
We don't really want another Senjin. Like
we got 2. Next, we've got Humility, which is the 1 mana, change a minion's attack to 1. We have the Dark Iron Dwarf, which is a give a minion +2 attack this turn. It's kind of nice. And we have another Blessing of Kings. Give a minion +4/+4. Yeah.
Sometimes this happens. Like, there's nothing we could have done really to help it.
Wow. I'd probably go. How many Blessing of Kings do we have? We have 1. I'd probably go with Blessing of Kings here, man. I mean, I'd probably go with that one. The 4/4/4 is kind of nice. It's got a nice battle cry, the Dark Iron Dwarf, but... Well, no, you know what? I'd probably go with the Dwarf, because I don't know if I need another buff card at this point. What do you think? Is Humility the one? I'm probably totally off.
No, Humility's not the one.
Okay.
That card's no good. I mean, I could I it can be used sometimes decently, but it's at least the way I play. I don't like cards like humility because when I play a value game, when I'm basing everything on value, like it's just automatically losing you value when you play it. So I just really don't like cards like that. That it technically doesn't do much of anything.
I like how
It
the
makes
Dark Iron Dwarf's giving me a card out of it. You know what I mean? Versus like, because I'm getting the 4/4 out of the card.
the the Dark Iron Dwarf was like probably my #1 arena card for just basic commons, not counting class commons before they nerfed it. The nerf kind of hurts a little bit, but I still really like it. It would be my pick here.
Over Blessing
Just
of
because
Kings?
I get a, I mean, having guys is nice. Like I get a little bit concerned whenever I have a bunch of buff cards and not
Okay.
guys. I mean, you are a paladin, so you can create your guy to put the kings on, but then when you think of it that way, it also costs 6 if you have to do it on the same turn. So yeah, I would go for the guy.
Okay.
It's like better to have a beefy guy instead of a buff card here.
All right, we are at card. We got 23 cards so far. We're almost done. We got the three mana Iron Fur Grizzly. It's a 3/3. We've got a five card. We got Spiteful Smith. Enrage. Your weapon has +2 attack. It's kind of nice. And the Silverback Patriarch, which is a 3 card one. It's a 3 mana 1/4. I'd probably go with that Spiteful Smith because we got so many weapons anyway. That's probably the card I would go through if it was just me.
I might consider the Spiteful Smith, except for the fact that we need 3 drops really bad, and Iron for Grizzly is average, but an average 3 drop is
Right, it's a 3/3/3.
really, really good for us right now. It has taunt. I mean, that's okay. It can be all right. But your 3/3s for 3 are fine to play in arena, and the Silverback Patriarch I've played before, but I don't like that card much at all. Like the 1 attack makes it pretty weak.
Okay.
It's almost like the Shield Bearer, except the 1 attack makes it a lot better than the Shield Bearer. But I mean, it's not great for 3 mana. But yeah, Iron for Grizzly would be my pick here, just because we need some 3 drops pretty bad right now.
Okay, taking it.
Yeah.
All right, we have Eye for an Eye, which has got that secret when your hero takes damage, deal that much damage to the enemy hero. We've got another Blessing of Wisdom, and we've got another Hammer of Wrath. So we got a 1/1 and a 4 for mana. I'd probably take the Hammer of Wrath. I'm not taking another Blessing of Wisdom, and I don't know if that Eye for an Eye. I don't know.
So Eye for an Eye is really bad, but have you? There's a video floating around. Ecop is a really popular, really good streamer that from Europe that plays, and there's a really funny video where a guy did 18 damage to him by using the Eye for an Eye and the 1/4 weapon that paladins get and hitting his 18 damage guy. So that he took 18 damage on purpose to himself
to deal 18
Ecop with it, and it's really funny. Like, it's a video you should look up if you haven't seen it, because the expression on Ecop's face is like priceless. But that's like the dream scenario for Eye.
Right, it'll happen once in every 100 years.
Yeah, like that's what he even says when it happens. He goes, "You'll never see this again, ever." So, like, that's the dream scenario for it. But I mean, most of the time the card's really, really bad. It's like one of the worst cards. So, I mean, I'm a little nervous about this deck getting into the 4-drop range, but we gotta do it, man. We gotta take the hammer because it's just so much better than the other 2 cards.
All right, man. We're about to get lucky. We got Defender of Argus, 4-drop. Battlecry, give adjacent minions +1 and taunt. We have the Questing Adventurer, which is a 3-drop, and it's a 2/2. Whenever you play a card, gain +1/+1. And we have the Secret Keeper. Whenever a secret is played, gain +1/+1. I'm probably going with the Questing Avenger. It's a 3-drop. The Secret Keeper has no real appeal to me. And the Defender of Argus was a really good card. Did they change that card recently, or is that?
Yeah, it's one of the ones that just got
nerfed.
Okay. It's still really good. I mean, it's still the reason that card was good was because it gives 2 minions +1/+1 and taunt, which in this case, giving something taunt is awesome because you're not losing the value for having it have taunt. So I mean, Like we can make some really beefy creatures, like even beefier, and give them taunt. That card is like so good. It's still so good, even though it got nerfed. It was a 3/3 for 4 that did that, not 4
Mm-hmm.
itself. But the battle cry was why you played it. I mean, it is a little worse now as 2/3. It is affecting it. It's seen a little less constructed play because of it. But it's a really good card. But our 4 drops are so disastrous. And even though I'm not a huge fan of questing because it's only a 2/2 when you
I got
play it.
disconnected again. Are you still there on Skype?
Yeah, I'm still here on Skype.
Man, Battle.net's acting up tonight, man.
It really is.
Jeez.
It waited for us to like do this, and then it decided it should be a jerk.
That's not cool. I'll bring it right back, guys. Well, at least it's not just me. I'd be kind of mad about it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, but
There we go. I'm getting back in it right now. That almost makes you kind of scared to play a game, to play the arena. Because if you're in the middle of an arena game and you get disconnected, you're screwed, right?
yeah.
Oof.
If you both get disconnected, you both lose. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Like when you both get disconnected, you both actually lose the game, which kind of sucks. If somebody gets disconnected, the other person has to finish out the game to win.
Oh, okay. No, Hearthstone doesn't even want to open up.
Yeah, we might have to wait to play the games. I mean,
Yeah, man. It's not. Yeah, I'm getting got disconnected again.
Keep getting disconnected from the game.
That's not cool. Well, we only got a couple cards left.
Yeah.
I want to buy. I'm gonna buy a pack here too and start opening some cards.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do tonight. If people want to watch that. It's
Yeah.
always fun to watch people open packs.
If we can get now, if we get this thing to work, I'll buy the packs tonight and open them up.
Yeah, we can always save the deck and play at a different time and then record it for people to watch or whatever.
Are you in Hearthstone right now?
No, I haven't been in. I'll try launching it, see what happens. Yeah, it would suck to like draft the deck and everything and go through this and then just lose 3 games because you disconnected.
Dude, that'd be the worst. Let me exit Battle.net real quick. Log out.
Yeah, it's not loading up for me either. If anybody in the chat has any questions about how the draft is going or anything so far, they can ask them while we're stalled out here. Or like any choices we made so far, if they have anything they would have done different or anything they're wondering about. See, Toko was talking about not being able to drop Dark Iron Dwarf if nobody has any cards out. In a way, it was kind of a buff to the card because you can drop it on an empty board. You can just drop it. It doesn't make you have to put a battle cry. And it used to be like if they had creatures and you didn't have anything, that it would be terrible because you don't want to buff one of their creatures permanently and throw it down there. But now, if they have creatures and you have it, it's fine just to buff one of their minions for a little bit because it goes away at the end of your turn, so they won't get anything out of it. Like if you need to play a 4/4 for 4. It just let me log into Hearthstone right now. Hopefully this will do it for you.
This is sucking.
Can you still hear me on Skype?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It just said something about reconnecting on Skype. I did just get in. It took me 2 tries, but it let me in then.
It's loading up the Hearthstone screen, and then it's just not doing anything.
It just said you came online.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jeez. Yeah, there's no way I'm playing these. I'm playing these now, but I will buy buy the packs and open those up. But once I buy that, then if it gets disconnected, it's no big deal. I just open the rest whenever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So did we decide on the Defender of Argus or the Questing Adventurer?
Yeah, like I don't like. I'm not loving the curve at all on this thing with all the 4 drops. But if this was me, I would definitely just take the Defender of Argus, even though I don't really want to take any of these cards, to be honest, but Defender of Argus is really good. I mean, it's really good. So it's okay to take it and mess up the curve even more. Because the problem with Questing Adventure, considering calling it a 3-drop is a stretch, because when you play it on turn 3, like you want to play that card and then cast a spell, at least one other card with it, so that it buffs it. Playing it on turn 3, it's a 2/2 for 3, they're just going to kill it.
Okay.
So even though it says it's a 3-drop, it's really not a 3-drop. So I can't even consider that helping the 3-drop part of it.
All right. Next, we got the Ironbeak Owl, which is the 2-drop, the silencer. We got the 5-drop Stormpike Commando. Its battle cry is deal 2 damage, and we have another Hammer of Wrath. Not taking the Hammer of Wrath. Got 2 of those already. I'm probably gonna lean towards the. I kind of like that silence, man. It's kind of nice. Comes in handy. That 5/4/2 dealing 2 damage. I'd probably go with the number 2, with the Ironbeak Owl. But I wouldn't play it right away. I would kind of hold it, hope to use it later on in the game.
The thing about the Ironbeak Owl is it's not a 2-drop either. Like,
right, because you're not playing it at 2.
I tell people that they should have a good many 2-drops to play in a match. Like, you want to have a good many, especially 3/2 2-drops. When I say that, that doesn't mean 2 casting cost cards. That means things we can play on turn 2.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of those right now, even.
Yeah.
One thing is, excuse me. One thing we can get away with as a Paladin is that because we can put a 1/1 out at least, and then like next turn maybe
buff it up,
give it the Divine Shield or something. But we can get away with it a little bit. But I mean, like we have 2 Argent Protectors. Those aren't 2-drops. The Acidic Swampoo isn't necessarily a 2-drop because if you're playing something with a weapon, you probably hold on to it. The true 2-drop we have is the Bloodfin Raptor. So that, I'm not loving our curve, but
yeah, this is gonna be interesting how this plays out.
yeah, and sometimes this happens in arenas. I mean, the only thing is, the only good thing is we have so many True Silvers that we can play catch up. The other card that I'd really love to see in the next 2 is a Consecration, even though it costs 4. We could really use that right now.
Some clear. You going with the Hammer of Wrath or the Commando?
I think here we have 1 5-drop so far, so I like Stormkite Commander. It's a pretty decent card. I like Ironbeak Owl, okay. I used to really like it when I started this game, and the problem that I see with it is, yes, you silence the guy, which is really good, but once again you fall into the trap of it being a 2/1 and it gets pinged. So you like lose your value pretty quick out of it.
Okay.
It's not a 2-drop. If I thought it was a good 2-drop, we would take it, but you're gonna play it who knows when.
All right, I'm taking the Commando.
So, I like the Commando. it does 2 damage, which is pretty relevant, and you get like a 4/2 on the board. You can get some good value out of that card.
Okay, next we got the Guardian of Kings, which is a 7 mana, 5/6. Restore 6 health to your hero on the battle cry. We've got 3-drop Flesh Eating Ghoul. Whenever a minion dies, gain 1 attack. And the Grimscale Oracle, which is all other Murlocs have 1/1. I'd probably take that Flesh Eating Ghoul. I mean, for the same reasons we've kind of been talking about, I don't have a lot of stuff that I can play early in this game. That Guardian of Kings seems kind of nice, but I'll probably go with the Flesh Eating Ghoul.
Yeah, I like the Flesh Eating Ghoul too because Guardian of Kings is quite a good card. Even though I was saying about the restoring health to your character isn't that great, Guardian of Kings restores so much and also puts such a big dude on the board in the process of doing that it's a pretty solid card. But like we need 3-drops, and Flesh Eating Ghoul's fine, and I've had some real good success with Flesh Eating Ghoul, in particular with Paladin. Like you start getting some 1/1s on the board, and then you can throw them all at something and make that Flesh Eating Ghoul huge.
Okay.
It's not my favorite 3-drop, but it's an okay 3-drop, and we don't want Grimscale Oracle, obviously.
All right, so I'll take the Flesh Eating Ghoul.
Yeah, I'd say Flesh Eating here.
All right, we've got the Dread
for the curve.
The Dread Corsair, which is a 4 mana 3/3. We've got Redemption, which is a secret. When one of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. And we have the Consecration, man.
That's what I wanted, was the Consecration. So
taking that one.
Even though it's a 4-drop, we gotta take the Consecration because there's a really good chance we're gonna fall behind early with. I'm really concerned with this deck that we're gonna fall behind in the first 2 or 3 turns, and we can catch up with the Consecration, and then with our 4-drops in late game, we can really do some damage. So if we can catch up with that Consecration, it'll be good.
All right, we're down to the last card. We have a Sunwalker. Go ahead.
On that, going back to that last thing, I will say that like it was definitely Consecration was the pick, but Dread Corsair, when you have in particular 4 True Silver Champions, goes from being like kind of a semi-bad card to possibly a pretty decent card. But anyway, yeah, go ahead with this.
All right, we have the last card. We have the Sunwalker, which is a 6/4/5. We have the Ancient Mage, give an adjacent minion spell damage +1, and we have the Imp Master. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this minion and summon a 1/1 Imp. That Taunt and Divine Shield's kind of nice. I like that card. The Ancient Mage is out for me. I kind of like the. I'd probably go with, because we don't have a lot of 3s. I'd probably go with 3, but all things being equal, I probably would have gone with the Sunwalker.
Yeah, I like your train of thought there. Pretty good. So this is our last card. So, yeah, like the thing about this is Sunwalker is really good. I mean, it's really, really good in Arena. It's really good, but you know, we need 3-drops. And Imp Master may not seem like on the surface it's really good, but it keeps dumping 1/1 imps on the board, which is useful. It's pretty good. I feel like this is a card that a lot of people will look at and not like very much whenever they're near to the game, but it just keeps throwing cards out there. It's a 1/5 for 3, which is a lot of health to start. I mean, at the end of your turn, it'll be a 1/4, and it'll throw out a 1/1. But yeah, I think based on the curve and everything, it won't be bad to play the Imp Master on turn 3 and give them something to deal with. So, yeah, I'm thinking we have to take the Imp Master here, even though it pains to not take the Sunwalker. If I was drafting this on my own, I would have taken the Imp Master.
Okay. All right, man, that's full.
That's
yeah, it's an interesting curve. I'm a little bit hesitant.
It happens with Paladin. Like I told you, that was going to happen before we started. That's one of the things that you do run into with Paladin for sure. It's the 4-drop disaster. The only thing we possibly I'm thinking back to when we took those early Sengens and stuff, and even then I was thinking about the 4-drops, and it might become a problem. but there wasn't anything that we really would have taken over them back then.
Right. Right. It wasn't like you were debating them between them and some good 3-drops or anything like that.
Like that's why I said back when we took the Ascensions, I was even saying like if there was a good 2 or 3 drop and the Ascensions, I would have taken the good 2 or 3 drop over them if it was even like a little bit worse than the Ascension. But the stuff we had back then, it just wasn't really that comparable. So there's nothing we could have done with the curve. This can be a good deck. I mean, once we start getting into the